So next up, we're joined by Lisa Jones and Fiona Jackson. Both Lisa and Fiona are former officers and are now career consultants here at the OA. They're joining us to discuss how the OA's employment services can support you as you look for your next role. Lisa, Fiona, thanks for joining us today.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, and welcome to our short presentation. It will last about 10 minutes, and then obviously you have a break for lunch. I hope you've enjoyed the programme so far. It's been a fascinating mix of speakers. Lisa, do you just want to say hello as well?
Just to say, we don't want to take up too much of your time. We know that you're probably quite hungry, time for lunch and everything. We want to share some insights with you about how the OA can help you.
First off, then, what I wanted to do was just to explain briefly how the OA can help you in your transition, or if you're at a stage where you left the military some time ago and you are now looking for further employment. If you haven't done so already, the first thing that I would say is register with the Officers Association to arrange an appointment with a career consultant. Now, the career consultants currently are Lisa and myself. And just to give you a little bit of background, we're both veterans and we both had experience in the commercial world and now currently working in the third sector. So we do understand to a certain extent what it's like transitioning from the military and also finding subsequent jobs after you've left the military. So what can we provide you with? Well, as I've already said, we can provide you with career consultations, also just with standalone CV reviews and LinkedIn reviews, and also general jobs advice. The Officers Association can also give you access to our targeted jobs board, and we'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute. Also access to a network contact list. It has been interesting that a number of the speakers this morning talked about the value of networking, and we will expand on that with our network contact list. Open invitation to regular events, such as the one today, and also if you're registered with us, you have a weekly newsletter with the latest jobs and events on it. So Lisa, I just wondered if you wanted to explain to the people listening today, what is a career consultation, especially for those who've not had one before?
Yeah, I think sometimes I get feedback from people saying, oh, I wasn't sure whether a career consultation would be relevant for me in my situation. And the short answer to that is a career consultation is relevant to anyone. And we really do just focus it around your needs. I mean, we can either just be a sounding board for you to talk through things that you've been thinking about, whether you're making a decision to leave or not, or we can certainly help you through transition and beyond. So as it says on the screen, you know, we can have a shorter session just to really drill down on your CV, or perhaps to help you fine tune your LinkedIn profile or to get the most out of LinkedIn. We can talk to you about whether it's a good time to leave or whether a bit more experience might add value to your CV, or what we call the full consultation with CV review is basically all of that plus, you know, some extra focus on your CV, and you can really take advantage of that at any time that you want to. We'll discuss what's important to you, you know, and, you know, really kind of focusing on you and your individual circumstances, because obviously everybody is different. We'll talk through routes to the job market, as Fiona said, you know, stressing the importance of networking. Looking at job adverts, I mean, we could even help you apply for a specific job if that's what you want to do. How to pitch yourself at the right level, perhaps translating what your rank and level in the military means in a civilian context. But also we can bring some of our knowledge about the current job market, pay rates, sectors that are hiring, how to negotiate your salary, which I know was a question earlier. We can provide insight on that through our own experience, but also through the interaction that we have on a regular basis with employers.
Lisa, thanks for that. I was also going to add, and you mentioned it a little while ago, is the value of a career consultation, I think, with one of us, is the fact that we will very much individualise it. And we've heard the speakers this morning give some really good, solid advice to job seekers. But what we can do, as you said, is to tailor that to the client and the circumstances and what fits the individual.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on this, Fiona? I mean, I've talked a little bit about it, but when should people book a career consultation?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, Lisa. And I also say to clients, it's not a case of one strike and you're out. So you can book more than one career consultation. Because there is, I suppose, no exact right time, but a consultation will help you plan your transition and make an informed choice for the future. So, for example, I spoke to somebody recently who's got 3 years to run, but I've also spoken to people who maybe got 3 months to run. Maybe that's leaving it a little bit too late. But it depends on, I suppose, when you start your planning. But the booking or the consultation is not just when you are in transition. As I said earlier, it could be at a later stage. For example, somebody has decided to have a complete change of career, or as we've seen more recently over the last year, people have been made redundant because of the COVID epidemic, and therefore are looking for other jobs. We're also very happy to talk about just considering your options. I talked to a client the other day who actually spoke to me 3 years ago, I think, when he was considering leaving, and then stayed on. And that's absolutely fine. We're not in the business of saying to people, you must leave the Navy, the Army, or the RAF. It depends on you and your circumstances. So we're very happy to talk that through with you and give you the realities of what it's like and what the job market's doing. It's also very easy to book. You can do it yourself online, or if you have any issues with that, then we've got a very, very helpful client admin team who are always willing to support you with your booking. And as you can see, you've got the website there and the client admin address.
Yeah, I'd just like to reiterate what Fiona said at the beginning there, though, that it's definitely not one strike and you're out. I mean, and I've personally been helping people over a number of sessions, if that's what's useful to them, either because they've been struggling with redundancy or just because they would just value a sounding board to talk through different options as they arise. And we can also do kind of one-on-one coaching if that's what you need.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. And it doesn't matter about the time scale either. I first came to the OA about 30 years ago, and then my second visit was sort of 20 years after that. So that's fine as well. Lisa, do you want to start off then by talking about what else can clients benefit from, or those who have read?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, obviously, we've focused on career consultations and, perhaps explaining a bit more about what those involve. But there are certainly lots of other things that the OA can provide for you. And it's not just about having a career consultation. You can attend events, obviously, such as this one. And we work either with individual employers to put on events for them to showcase what they offer individually, or we have larger scale events such as this where a number of employers might be represented, or indeed a number of people offering advice and guidance. We also run webinars very regularly. And these can range in topic from industry specific to just general advice on CVs or interview techniques, or even about specific organisations themselves. In addition to that, we also run workshops. We're hoping that those will be able to be face-to-face again at some point, either later this year or beyond, where we can focus on CV writing, interview skills, job applications, that kind of thing. So plenty of events and workshops for you to pick and choose from.
The other thing, can I just, you might be about to mention it, sorry, but these things go on to our on-demand webinar library as well. So I sometimes hear clients saying, oh no, I can't make that day because I've got a work meeting or whatever. That's fine, because they will go on the on-demand webinar library.
Yeah, and you can catch up with those kind of things at any point. Do you want to talk a bit about our network of contacts, Fiona?
As I said earlier, networking is really key, and LinkedIn is your friend sort of thing. But we've also got to help you. Our network contact lists, and currently I would say there are probably over 500 names on there, and they're all people who've been clients of ours who are known to us, and they've all volunteered to go onto that list. So even if you don't know them, they don't mind you contacting them. But they're people who successfully transitioned to civilian life and who are happy to share their tips, to give advice and support. The only thing at the moment is, obviously, with data protection, you don't get to see their contact details, but you can email them through our portal, and hopefully they will get back to you. Will I talk about the jobs board as well, Lisa? Go on.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So we have a jobs board. It is a unique resource because it's all about jobs targeted to the skills and experience of military officers. That doesn't mean to say the jobs are only advertised on our jobs board, but they're certainly advertised by clients who formed a very good relationship with us and with our recruitment manager, and who understand the value of recruiting ex-military people. And sometimes we will actually almost try and find people who fit those jobs. We'd obviously never send your details off without asking you, but we'd get in touch and say, you know, there's this job come up, would you be interested in it? But the jobs board is there for you all to access. So
yes, and we do, just to add to that, we do get requests from specific employers asking whether we have people with specific skills to fit an individual role, and we have successfully been able to provide really brilliant candidates for those roles who then go on to get jobs. So you know, it's a really excellent resource there.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think that's where we work very closely with the employment engagement managers as well, who sometimes and often have highlighted the jobs and have come in through that route. So great. Well, let's hope that Lisa and I will see you very soon then, if we haven't seen you already. Enjoy your lunch break and the rest of the afternoon, and it's been great hearing from all the speakers so far. Thanks.
Thank you.
Lisa, Fiona, thank you ever so much. And I will just say, as one of the key account managers working with employers to fill roles, that having spoken to some of our clients and our former officers that have gone through CV reviews with Lisa and Fiona, their feedback is glowing, and I know that the CVs are well received by employers as well, which is also really important. So that sees us up to the break. We're going to take a 40-ish minute break now. Joining us after the break will be our headline sponsor, Elbit Systems UK, who will be talking about them as an organisation, why they're sponsoring today's event, and the types of roles and the roles that they've got available at the moment.